because he has been leading it since opposition. Thank you.
So, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Next question.
Chairman, so just for the ordinary Ghanaian, what is a 24-hour economy? Just for the ordinary Ghanaian to understand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
He needs an explanation of 24-hour economy from you.
Mr. Chairman, simple put, 24-hour economy is an economy where the rest sectors of the economy doesn't sleep. The rest sectors of the economy doesn't sleep. For example, we have a mining sector, don't we? We want to see where the mining sector does not sleep, as against a situation where the mining sector, for example, does 12 hours and go to bed. The benefits of light electricity, they should be able to work 24 hours. And many other sectors. You have the hydrocarbon sector. You have the entire agriculture value chain. It's not just going to farm, but after farm, the produce must go to a warehouse. And you have to, obviously, process it into agribusiness. And so we don't want the value chain to go to sleep. We believe that if implemented properly, we'll be able to increase the workforce. And we've said one job, just like we have now, can end up employing 3. So 24-hour economy is a structure where we'll end up implementing a 3 shift for the economy going forward, bring out productivity.
Thank you very much. Are you okay with the explanation of 24-hour economy?
Chairman, stay out of this matter. Honorable nominee, are you suggesting, therefore, that the structure of our economy as it stands now has no such input as 24-hour economy already subsisting?
There are some semblance of 24.
Please, go ahead with the answer.
Mr. Chairman, I think if you talk about the rest sector, no. You see, the rest sector are the core sectors of the economy that drives inclusive growth, proper growth, and create jobs. You have health, where hospitals operate 24 hours. You have the police, some police stations, work 24 hours and all, some restaurants and all. But that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking of the real sector, where jobs are created. For example, we have Takrady Port. My birthplace, where I grew up, secondary Takrady Port. And you have mines, where you used to work, the Awaso area. Going all the way to Yini. With a proper railway line, you can get the Yini mines to produce bauxite within the same 24 hours. As what has been produced, you can haul it to Takrady Port and ship them or process it. The whole process is what we are talking about, 24-hour economy. So it's the rail sector that we are talking about. Investment in the rail sector, deliberate government policy targeting the rail sector, where you can use the 24-hour economic policy to drive growth. That's what we are talking about, not choppers. We are not talking of choppers. We are not talking of pharmacy shop. That's not what we are talking about, rail sector growth.
So are you therefore saying that you've done some costing, and having done some costing, you have an approach in terms of this model? Because from your answer, you are suggesting that you are going to target certain sectors. And if you are targeting these sectors and you really want to fuel economic growth, it means that you need to inject some funding. So let us know what funding arrangement you have in place to back this policy.
Mr. Chairman, I don't want to jump the gun. I said earlier that the
Capable of answering the question.
I said earlier that the Office of the Special Advisor to the President, responsible for 24-hour economy, is doing some work. I know they're almost done, and because the work started 2 years ago when we also were in opposition. Today he's in office. He will need to tweak it and present same to Parliament. Obviously, what will be presented to Parliament will come from either the Ministry of Finance together with the Ministry of Trade. So let's wait for that. The President has appointed someone responsible for 24-hour economy. Let's wait for the person to provide us a proper blueprint and we'll talk about it.
Thank you. Any further questions, Leader?
Yes, please.
We have a long way to go.
Chairman, we have a 10 billion public infrastructural investment plan proposed by the NDC. At the same time, the NDC in government seeks to introduce the sinking fund and cap government borrowing. This is a manifesto promise. First, I want to know whether you pledge your support for this manifesto promise. And if so, walk us through the numbers and demonstrate how it fits into the IMF framework for 2025 to 2028.
Mr. Chairman, I subscribe to the tenets of our manifesto because I was part in formulating that manifesto. Mr. Chairman, yes, we promised to set up a sinking fund. It's necessary. It is required. If we had single fund today, I wouldn't be sitting here lamenting that there are debts that will fall due, yet we do not have buffers. We need to establish that sinking fund. We've done it in the past, and we'll do it again. I've said that it is only right for you to save during good times to take off bad times. So we'll save when it's good, and when it's bad, we'll have buffers to be able to deal with the challenges. There's the need for us to cap borrowing. We have to cap borrowing. You can't borrow into an unsustainable pit. We've seen it in the past. Can we continue the same way? Can we continue giving bondholders haircuts? No. You know the consequences of the haircuts that we went through. The banking sector today is limping, and we'll have to borrow to support the banking sector as a result of the haircuts that the country went through, and many others. Pensioners have to suffer. Individual bondholders have to lose their capital, some their medication and all. We need to cap the borrowing. We need to have a plan to cap those borrowings. And so we commit to that. Aside what you mentioned, the 10 billion big push policy, the economy must grow in spite of all of this. Ghana's economy must grow. 10 billion over 4 years gives you 2.5 billion. The outgoing government, the immediate past government, Agenda 111, has left behind 1.5 billion for us to complete Agenda 111. We know all of that. But I can assure you that in spite of the challenges, we have to carefully invest in the rare sector. And you know my biases already. Hydrocarbons, mining, infrastructure, agric and agribusiness, and SMEs. We need to finance these sectors. And the rare sector development is key. So $10 billion, we can fund it over the medium term, over a 4-year period. And I've said here, the quality of expenditure matters. You have a choice to take $58 million to build National Cathedral. In the same vein, you have a choice to use 4 times that amount to be able to construct a proper highway between Accra and Kumasi. What would that do for you to increase productivity? So it's a matter of the quality of expenditure. We will do it, and we have to do it to move this country forward.
Thank you very much.
Chairman.
Is that the end, or you have
Chairman,
more questions?
I learned something from Dr. Forson I'm not an economist. Mine is law, but we are learning. He once said there's a difference between releases and payments. So government will release to controller, and then controller would have to effect the payment. So when the actual, you can talk about actual payment when you are in receipt of your payment. Ato, correct? Very well. So I would want to use that to clarify an earlier point that I made from the school feeding secretariat, that government released the entire 72 days owed the caterers to controller. And the actual payment received out of those release letters, the letter that goes to a controller, payment received by the caterers was for 42 days. And that the 32 days outstanding is yet to be received by the caterers. So I just wanted that on record, and that becomes your first responsibility, to ensure that the controller complies with the releases. Are you ready to ensure that the controller complies with the releases?
Mr. Chairman, you are aware that...
Well, before coming to answer the question, I thought you said they have fully paid. But now that you are admitting that payment has not been paid and they are agitating...
Chairman, with respect...
I would ask the nominee to respond to your clarification.
No. Chairman, we are politicians, and I understand languages when they are coded to mean something. I've been in this business with you.